Welcome back to my channel, you guys. If you guys are new here, my name is Patrice Carothers, and this channel we talk about pregnancy and all of my symptoms and everything that comes with it. So let's get started. Alright, you guys, so this week we are going to be talking about week 18 and week 19. So all my pregnancy symptoms are going to come up on the side right here. And we're going to get right into it. I got my phone with my notes and stuff on it, so we are going to get started. So for week 18, what I noticed about week 18 is that I am out of breath. I am definitely out of breath a lot. It doesn't matter if I'm just like standing up and walking a couple of steps. I feel like my breath is just like really cut short, and and it's kind of like it throws me off a little bit because I'm like, oh, I didn't even do anything for, like me to be short or have shortness of breath. So it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those little weird pregnancy symptoms that you weren't really expecting and you got, and you're just like, oh, okay, so this is what's happening. I always sound tired. I always sound really winded and really tired. So that's what's going on in week 18. My mood is back to normal, which is great. I'm so, you guys know when my mood is like perfect, I'm so here for it. Like I feel so blessed when my mood is not going up and down, or if I'm not really sad or really mad or really angry, anything like that. I'm really excited that my mood is very normal this week. So that's what's going on, and there's nothing else to really report. Like that's basically it. I just feel really big. I feel really winded, and I just put a note on here like I feel super pregnant, but that's me. At 18 weeks I felt super pregnant. And yeah, my lower back pain went away this week, which was great. I don't really have any crazy like food cravings. I know a lot of people get like different things, but for me, I didn't really get anything. I just crave water, to be honest. Like, water is my best friend. I love it. I think it fuels me. It's obviously good for you to be hydrated and drink your water, but I just don't have any problem with that during my pregnancy because I feel like I always want water. I do crave water all the time, and that is about it. That is it for week 18. It was very short, and it was a beautiful week. I didn't have any more pregnancy insomnia. Everything went away, and everything was like back to normal. So it just felt like everything was on the up and up, and I was super excited. Alright, you guys, moving right along to week 19. I wish I can say that it was just as blissful as week 18, but it kind of wasn't. So we had a couple little different symptoms for week 19. So one of those big symptoms is that my boobs hurt tremendously again. Like, it was everything, right? Like, the whole boob hurt, and my nipples were just on a whole nother level of just like tenderness and just, whoo. I was like, I really don't know how to explain to anybody how it feels to have very, very sensitive nipples when your boob hurts, but it's just like you don't want anything touching you. You don't want clothes on, you don't want anything rubbing against it, you just don't want anything moving, touching, any of that. So that's how it was again in week 19. I don't know why, like I was fine up until week 19, and then it just like, whoop, there it is again. So my boobs hurt tremendously, and my nipples were on a whole nother level. I literally wrote like a whole nother level of tenderness. And yeah, that was one of the biggest symptoms that I had for week 19. Also, my lower back started hurting again. It wasn't, when I'm saying that my lower back hurts, it's not anything that I feel like I really do need to consult a doctor about. It's just very uncomfortable. Like, you're pregnant. Obviously, your uterus is growing and baby's moving, and your organs are shifting. And it depends on, I feel like certain weeks I'm fine, and certain weeks I'm just like, oh, my back hurts this week. And when I mean that, it's not consistent, and it just hurts off and on. And this week in particular, it did feel like I got snapped in half again and then like put back together for my back. So I'm thinking maybe it's because I because most of the times I wake up and I am on my back because I am definitely a back sleeper. So I feel like I keep waking up on my back and then I keep going over to like my left side or my right side. So maybe that has something to do with why my back hurts because there's just so much pressure on it. And I don't know how long I've been on my back. So that's one thing to note. And I feel like when that happens, my legs, I wouldn't say they hurt throughout the day because they never hurt like all the time or have like a consistent pain or ache or anything like that. But when I'm laying down in bed, if I'm on my back for too long, I do notice that my legs start to hurt. And um, I don't know how to explain that either because it's not like a horrible pain. It's just like a dull ache pain. And that's the only way I know how to describe it. Right, and so for week 19 also I noticed that it was very hard for me. Well, not very hard, but it was hard for me. Like I noticed a big difference when I went to go try to put my shoes on and do little things that I used to be able to do without a problem. So like this week, I struggled putting my boots on this week. I also struggled getting in my Jeep because my Jeep is kind of lifted. So I definitely had to like hop and like struggle and actually use the hand things to get in my Jeep. And I don't know, I never used it before, so it was kind of weird. But I thought it's something to mention that you have to, do things differently once your belly starts getting big. You just never really, or for me, I never really realized how much you have to like move different when you're pregnant and you have this big belly, right? So for me, that was definitely one of those things. I definitely still had shortness of breath this week as well too. It just felt like every time I was talking, I was just like, whoo, I'm a little winded. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that I'm out of breath and I'm not even doing anything. I'm just trying to explain a story or something to somebody or tell somebody like, hey, this is what happened. And I'm like struggling because I'm like, whoo, it just felt like every sentence that I started, it felt like I had just ran up a flight of stairs and then I started talking. Like that's literally how I can explain it. That's how I felt. I felt super winded. And obviously I felt huge. I even wrote down on here too, like I felt so big this week. And I was like, I'm going to keep saying that every week because it just is so mind-blowing to me how fast your stomach grows and how big you feel in those moments. Like I felt so huge in week 16 and like 18 and 19, and it's just so crazy to know like, oh my gosh, I feel so huge. And I say that every week, so I'm pretty sure all my updates say I feel so pregnant, I feel so big, but I really do, you guys. Like this is the biggest I've ever been in my life, so I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel so pregnant, I feel so big. And I just don't know how else to reiterate that, like other besides saying like, oh, I feel pregnant. All right, another weird symptom that I had for week 19 is that I noticed that my hands were really dry. And it's crazy to me because obviously I'm drinking a lot of water. I just told you guys in week 18, like I love water. I crave it. I drink it all day, all night. I always have my water bottle with me and I'm always constantly drinking water. So week 19, it was a little weird because my hands started to get dry and not my feet, not my skin or anything. I didn't notice it anywhere else, just my hands. And I was like, okay, so I was taken back a little bit, like, oh my gosh, do I need to start drinking more water? Do I need to make sure that I'm staying hydrated? Like, what is going on? And I think it's because the whole COVID thing and me washing my hands and maybe using hand sanitizer a little bit more. But my hands were so dry, you guys, that it was ridiculous. Like, it was something that I definitely noticed. Like, oh my gosh, I was like, ew, my hands crusty again? Like, that's exactly how I felt. So I don't know if anybody else dealt with like dry hands or dry feet or anything like that throughout their pregnancy, but I definitely dealt with some dry hands in week 19 and it was really weird. And they started to crack right here in the creases. But it was like, obviously it wasn't like cracking that I was bleeding or anything like that. Oh my gosh. But they did start to crack a little bit right here in the creases. And I was like, this is crazy. And that's when I note to like write it down. Like, okay, like this is a weird symptom. I never had this before. I never had this happen. I'm the type of girl that always has like lotion or something on me. So it was just so weird that my hands were slimy. I mean, that my hands were dry. it was, yeah, it was just so weird. And I don't know if you guys know anything about me. So if you guys watch my nail channel, you guys already know that I have like hyperhidrosis, and I think that's how you say it. Please don't like correct me if I'm wrong, but don't be mean about it. It's where like my hands get so moist and clammy. And that's the best way that I can explain it. Like I'm always clammy. My hands are always clammy. So are my feet. No offense, but I mean TMI here. So it was just really weird that, you know, somebody with like clammy hands and somebody with hypohidrosis has really dry hands. So for me, that has never, literally never happened to me in my life. So I was like, this has to be a pregnancy symptom. This has to be something that's going on with my hormones, because my hands are never dry. If anything, they're always moist, and I don't like touching people because of it. Like, yeah. So, you know, that's one of my little snippets of insecurities. But I just wanted you guys to know how weird it was for me to have dry hands. And it was, yeah, it was just super weird. And I don't think it had anything to do with me not drinking enough water or anything like that. I really just think it was like a shift in my hormone changes, and it just caused my hands to be dry this week. So that was all the symptoms that I had for week 19. Alright, so now I'm going to give you guys my pregnancy photos for week 18. As you guys can see, my little baby bump right here. It's just so cute. And here is my update. Here is my 18-week belly, guys. As you guys can see, I feel huge, and I feel like my belly button actually popped, if you can see it right there. So this is what my belly is looking like at 18 weeks. I'm sorry guys, I'm always out of breath on these, but you guys get it. But yeah, that is it. Alright, you guys, here is my belly at 19 weeks. As you can see, my belly button's still going strong. And my baby is the size of a tomato. It's so cool to see your belly grow. But this week I feel absolutely huge, you guys. I feel so pregnant, and I don't know how to describe that unless you were actually pregnant before. But I definitely feel pregnant. Definitely can't do the things that I used to be able to do. So here's my baby bump. Super cute. It's getting there. You guys let me know down below if you guys had any of the same pregnancy symptoms, if you guys had some weird ones, or what you guys are going through during your week 18 and your week 19. I would love to hear about it in the comments below. And if you guys like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel here, and I'm trying to grow. I want to reach everybody, so definitely help me out and hit that like button. And if you guys haven't already, definitely hit that subscribe button, come back to this channel, and definitely I will be here every week giving you guys pregnancy updates and letting you guys know what's going on with me. And click that post notification bell so you guys don't miss another upload. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!